Hey guys, Nananki here bringing you another Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary, and I finally got to play some Man vs. Machine last night. I had to join random servers just over and over again looking for one with only one or two people on it, you know, hopefully that had just loaded into a new map and maybe load in faster than the people that were actually there legitimately. And I finally got a spot, and from there my friends were able to join off of me and actually managed to play with a handful of buddies, so you know, hooray for workarounds. Hopefully Valve gets the actual lobby system for Man vs. Machine more functional and with less of a wait time. I'm sure the wait time will take care of itself because there won't be quite so many people trying to play simultaneously. But man, the first 2 days that this came out, it's been like impossible to use the legitimate matchmaking system to get a match going. Instead, you've got to, like I said, just join random servers and kind of hope for the best. But as you can see, Man vs. Machine mode, you certainly do fight a lot of machines at once. It's essentially a tower defense game, if you're familiar with that term, where you just get flooded with enemies that are not especially strong or especially swift, or, well, I mean, the scouts move swiftly, but they're not especially bright. They don't really aim at the players as much as they seem to be concerned with the sentry guns, and so you can almost just stand in front of them and gun them down. But then occasionally you will get these bombs on legs that come and run up to blow up your sentry gun, and they have quite a lot of health, and it's kind of hard to kill them before they get to you. But you can pick up your sentry and just run away. And once it's dedicated to blowing itself up, it won't try to track you again after that. There are, depending on the map, between 6 and 8 waves of enemies that you have to fight, of robots and tanks and giant robots and other various support robots. Sometimes you'll have snipers to contend with, and sometimes you'll have spies to contend with, and in between rounds, all that money you saw being picked up and accumulated, that is spread evenly between everybody, or I should say everybody gets the full amount. You can then use that to upgrade your individual weapons with all kinds of bonuses, and although the upgrades are different for every weapon, I think everything but the Wrangler can be upgraded. And they pretty much all have the same types, like the explosive type weapons all have the same upgrade potential or possibilities and so forth. And the real fun, in my opinion, is increasing fire rate and the amount of ammo you can have in your clip at once. I didn't lock into that the first round here when I was playing with the Scottish Resistance, because I kind of thought that would be good for this round, all the extra bombs and being able to blow up one group or the other selectively, but as it turns out, all the enemies pretty much come in from one point. Some of the maps, they come in from like slight 2 points, you know, right next to each other. They'll come over a hill and go left or right around a big rock or something, but by and large they do just come in one direction, and so you can pretty much just stand right in front of where they're coming in, have sentry guns set up in intelligent places, and just gun them down. As you can see, you know, even the giant robots are kind of incompetent. They just kind of ignore the players when there's a sentry shooting them. They're just far more concerned with the sentry. And even when they are shooting at you, between all the upgrades you can get for yourself and bullet resistance and so forth, and medics can get bonus overheals to a ridiculous degree. In fact, the end of this video is me playing medic, because I didn't want to just play Demo Man. I wanted to get a shot at a few of the other classes and weapons and give myself some ideas for what I wanted to upgrade, because that's kind of the whole fun of this mode, is just how strange and strangely upgraded can you get a weapon. You know, how many shots in a row can you fire out of a lock and load that's firing 60% faster than it should? It just seems ridiculously powerful at that point, and that's fun to play with, ridiculously powerful weapons. That's kind of the gimmick that I think is going to keep me playing this game mode for a while. Like, the idea I came up with that I want to try out the next time I go to play is going to be Scout with the Force of Nature, with increased fire rate and clip size. So instead of 2 shots, ideally, I'll have 8. And I just can't even imagine the Force of Nature with 8 shots firing off as rapidly as it does. Same thing with the Beggar's Bazooka, for that matter. And I've pulled that out for all of about 5 minutes just to check it out. And it's cool if I wanted to not have any control over where my rockets went, but that's just a big downside to me. I know you can hang out up top with it and aim down and not have as big of a problem with it, but it's just not my cup of tea. To each his own. I know it's a very powerful weapon, especially with the crits, but you gotta play with what you actually enjoy playing with, which is why I also switched off of the Scottish Resistance after this first round, because it's just not my cup of tea either. I'd prefer to have all my stickies go off when I hit the button and not miss a few of them because they're slightly off the reticule. Another thing I've noticed is you can't shoot them before they jump off the ledge, or they just flash an uber and are invulnerable anyway, and then you end up bouncing them all over the place and just overcomplicating the job of killing them. And as you can see, here's a tank to destroy, and these come through every now and again, and although they have an absolute mountain of health, they don't do anything offensive. They don't even seem to run players over, though I can't say that with 100% certainty. I have seen players bump the front of them and not die instantly. So if it can run people over, you have to almost want to get run over by it, it seems. It doesn't move terribly fast. My understanding is if it gets to the end of the map there, that is the end of the round, but I don't see how anyone could ever let this tank get to the end of the round. Although it does have, like I said, a lot of health, it moves so infinitely slow. As long as you just keep shooting away at it. Pretty sure 6 people just meleeing the thing would kill it before it got to the end of the map. And anytime you do pick up every single dollar that drops, if you kill every single enemy and pick up every single, well, I think you have to kill every enemy, but if you pick up every cash bundle that is dropped, then you get a bonus on top of the normal amount that you just got. And you see, they will target a player if, I guess, the player is closer than the sentry, but if they're being shot by a sentry, they won't target you, is my experience. Like this heavy here starts getting shot at by the sentry gun, and after he killed the player who was close, he just completely ignores me. And although I'm like just dead in front of him, he just wants to shoot the sentry, even though he's not getting anywhere with it. Same thing with these demo men, I think, if memory serves. Once they get close enough, all they care about is the sentry. And so I can just pretty much rain down grenades at them. Though, of course, the timing with the sentry buster was such that the sentries were down, so the demo was still walking through. Also notice the scouts, when they pick up the bomb, they run a lot slower, so you don't have to be too scared of them picking up the bomb and just sprinting away from you. That's pretty unlikely to happen. Sentries, like I said, are kind of the key to making this mode easy. I think I'll probably have more fun on this mode without NGs, because it's going to make it a lot more difficult to catch everything that comes in, and the enemy robots are probably going to actually shoot at you. So that'll be more challenging, because that was the first thing I thought after the first round here was, boy, I wonder if there is a more challenging difficulty setting available, because this is pretty easy. And that's not to say it wouldn't be hard with 6 scouts, but with engineers at least, it is a little bit on the easy side, and I can't imagine a good reason not to use engineers, other than just to artificially inflate the challenge to make it a little bit more exciting. And other than that, like I said, I think the main draw is just going to be the ability to upgrade weapons. It's silly in my head to imagine a lock and load with 8 shots, or a beggar's bazooka with 9 shots. The Righteous Bison, even this guy is talking about, with full upgrades, going through targets and doing damage as it goes through them, is absurd. Another thing in relation to the lack of difficulty or challenge is that when they get the bomb to the end, they don't just drop it right in the hole. They stand there and they do a little dance with it, and you have a lot of time to blow them up. You have another 2 seconds or more once they're on the point with the bomb before they even drop the thing in. So it's not like capturing a flag where as soon as you make contact with the briefcase, bam, that thing is captured. You have a point, the other team has lost a point. With this thing, the robots have to do some kind of celebratory motion and then probably throw the bomb into the hole. Like here you see this giant scout in my super fast lock and load, and yeah, he picks up the bomb, he stands there and starts hip gyrating or twisting oddly, and then we blow him to smithereens. Another thing I noticed was the sentry busters have a ton of health in the first place, and I mentioned that, but on the off chance that you get one down almost to nil and it's about to blow up, don't go for that one last shot, because as you saw there, it reflects attacks, at least projectile attacks, during its detonation animation. So once it starts doing its detonation, that's it, you're done. Run the hell away from it, because you're not stopping it at that point. Another thing I noticed, not until this point though, this was the first one I actually saw, was this was a spy, a robo-spy. And I was like, yeah, wow, that's one obvious spy. Will he backstab me if I turn my back on him? Because he was not even going for backstabs, and kind of finally did, and I smacked him with a bottle, put it into that. Eventually you will deal with stuff like, uber giant charged soldiers and other crazy stuff like that, but like I said, with the super fast lock and load with maxed up bonus damage, it's just almost ridiculous how strong the thing is. I should really increase my reload time with it the next time I play, in addition to damage and clip size, because that would just be the total package right there. I think the lock and load is the most fun weapon I was using in this mode. Stickies are all well and good for their purpose. You know, you lay down 8 stickies on the tank, you blow them up, and you watch the thing's health move, you know, 3 pixels instead of 1. It does have so much health that one individual's efforts hardly make a difference. Like you see, even my 8 lock and load shots might speed the bar up for that 3 seconds of detonation, if that, 2 seconds of detonating time, and then it's back. It's, you know, it just takes forever. But I did, like I said, try out the Beggar's Bazooka. I really wanted to see this gun with 5 rounds in it at a time, because that's what you can buy right off the bat with it in Wave 1. It was just 2 extra shots in the clip, so from 3 to 5. And even with 5, I felt like, wow, I'm going to use this ammo up in absolutely no time at all. And it's cool shooting from above, but, you know, you're popping your targets away from the rest of your explosions half the time. And it's just, you know, not my thing. Like I said, I know it's going to be devastating, and I've had a lot of fun using it, too. You know, you get a crits with that thing and fire that into a mass of enemies with 9 crits rockets, and they're actually on target and don't hit walls or floors or fly off into the sky in the distance. That's devastating, it is. But for every time that happens, I feel like I lose all my rockets on walls and ceilings. You know, it's just a matter of personal preference, really. Don't mean to harp on it, but that is the reason why I only use this thing for like a minute and a half. But with the pinch points in this mode, this, you know, confined paths that they have to take, I can really see it being incredibly powerful. But there's so little metal, and having to usually rely on dispensers if you've got NGs, which I did in every round I played, it was a lot easier to just use a normal, you know, grenade launcher or other normal weaponry. That does not preclude the ability of getting ammo from a dispenser. Also at this point, when I was respawning, I was dead there, and I saw that the scout with the bomb was kind of sneaking up on the side. Nobody else on my team was stopping him. As you see, still nobody on my team was up here chasing him. Pretty sure he just utterly snuck by. So we kind of lucked out on that one, because there was no more sentry guns past that point. We had our sentry guns up on the front side there. No money. Gotta get the money. I realized as soon as I jumped, I was like, there was no more scouts right there about to take the bomb in, were there? But no, there weren't. And we held the bomb basically on top of the final point. And yeah, there it is. You see, he's close, but it's still not really cause for concern. These guys die so fast, and they take a couple seconds to drop the bomb in, that you're not going to lose anything. Another thing I didn't notice right away was you can actually share the canteen power-ups with the Kritzkrieg, I'm sure with the Uber gun as well. So you can give yourself crits or Uber without having an actual crits or Uber. Like right here, I was, you know, giving an actual legitimate crits, then I popped the Uber just to try it out. There's no real reason to. As you can see, the effect stayed on the heavy even when I switched the heal beam, so you can't use that the same way you would use a normal Uber. The special transferred benefit of the canteen does not quite work the same way. But on the bright side, it looked like the heavy was still Uber after I let the beam off of him, so you could, you know, switch to another person and Uber 2 people at once, theoretically, if you had the regular Uber gun. But anyway, this mode looks like it's going to be a nice, fun diversion, but a diversion at best. I think fighting players, fighting human beings, that's where it's at. Real intelligence behind the actions of your enemies, that's a challenge. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I do greatly appreciate it as always. Like it if you liked it, and I will catch you next time. Peace.
It just ain't right.